Hello, fellow enjoyers of the AFL. It's Matt here with another SUPERCOACH video. And this week, we got 2,455, which is a top 2% score. So a pretty solid score. A nice healthy increase in rank, which is good. It went pretty well. I'm ranked in the top 1%. I didn't realize that. Oh, nice. Top 1%. We made it. We're back where we somewhat belong. But I'm going to jump into the team and show you what happened. So, first of all, the defense. So, I pivoted, as I showed you in my last SUPERCOACH video, I pivoted from Stewart to Fisher, and that netted me 40 points and a ton of value as well. So, that ended up being a really good trade. And I feel particularly good about that trade because it was just something I wanted to do. I followed the heart and went with the fish, and the fish went well. So that was really good. The only bad score in the defense was Closey with the 49. He may be shipped off this week. Very likely will be shipped off this week. The rest was just fine. I VC'd Ryan, which was okay. I should have taken it in the end, but you would have expected more from Gorn. Sheasel, a decent score finally, but I'm still not sure about his role. We're versing a very weak midfield in Essendon, so even though they still beat us by 40 points, North Melbourne actually did very well in the midfield that week. Now, speaking of midfields, right, 3 out of the 8 primos got over 100, and the rest were just sort of floating in the, it's not the worst, it's not like, it's not like rage trade worthy, but it's just disappointing, 90s and 80s around there. I traded in Sullivan instead of Revel, which I'm not entirely happy with, but in saying that, Sullivan looks like his job security is just fine. So DeGoey is going to be out this week, and Tom Mitchell is still going to be out for another. It said 2 to 6 weeks, which is a very broad range. But anyway, we move into the rucks. Marshall has just dominated for me in the last 2 rounds. He's really helped me out. And this is probably where I'm going to get a little bit humbled in the next weeks because my rucks are going to be coming up against each other. So I can't imagine Marshall's going to have it his own way like he has the last 2 weeks. And in fact, a break even of 7. Damn. Let's have a look. What's his previous? 149. Interesting. All right. I don't know if that was against... Was that against the big dog going? Was that against him? Yeah, round 17 he played. Okay, so all right, maybe Marshall will be just fine. And then the forward line, very solid. The big one, when I went to Fisher instead of Stewart, it meant that I kept Harley Reid. That's a huge advantage right now. So he's basically a primo. Like I'm not really in a rush to get rid of him. It's going to be between him and Fife, who I get rid of to get Zorko, and maybe even McRae. McRae might even go as well, but he's been good enough. No CBAs, but getting the points, so that's fine. Shame that Darcy Jones is going to be out for like 6 to 8 weeks with a hammy. Get well soon, Darcy. But anyway, look, I'm very happy with how the team went this week. Feeling good going into the buys, and I feel like I've positioned myself nicely for the rest of the season. I'm going to go into my trades, so I'm looking to get rid of Darcy Wilson, and not that he's a must trade. And same with Closey. Not that Closey's a must trade, but I do want to just capitalize on, the cash, capitalize on, the fact that I'm scoring well and try to keep the momentum going. And that means we're going to have to go Joe Richards, who I think has better job security than Joel Frazier. Even though the little bit that I watched of Joel Frazier, he actually did look pretty impressive. He's a bigger boy than I expected, But look, Joe Richards has just great job security. Might have a tougher week this week against Freo, considering they're very restrictive with the way they score, or with the way the opposition teams score. But what's his name? Elliott's out, and Hoskin Elliott is also out. So, and McInnes. So all these forwards are going out. So his role is just fine, and he actually looks like a very decent player as well. So anyway, Joe Richards. I don't think much explanation needed there. And now, look, when it comes to the defenders, I'm not really comfortable with a lot of the top boys, right? So Yo might come back this week, so we've got a couple more weeks to assess him before his bye, and maybe we'll get him after that. McGovern, same thing. I'll look at him, maybe after his bye. And Nick Martin, right? He played a bit forward and a bit on the wing against North, and to be honest with you, as good as a player he is, because he'll go forward and because he's super clean with it, he gets points. I don't know. I just don't know if his scoring is sustainable, being that he's going to be moving spots. And also, they have Ridley coming back, and Ridley's another, designated kicker. So for the moment, I'm going to avoid Nick Martin. He'll probably go crazy against Richmond in saying that. But Dan Houston is the guy I'm going to go with. Without further ado, it's Houston who's coming in. 578 is a pretty decent price for a guy who is going to be, he should be a top 6 defender this year. If we scroll down, this may be as cheap as he's been this year. Yeah, it is. It is as cheap as he's been this year. He has a break even of, 97. So look, I don't think you have to get him this week, but against North, who historically hasn't been the best against, I don't know. I just feel like it's the right time to get him. And, it's still upgrade season, so I'm willing to do it. Unfortunately, it means I'm going to have to start Joe Richards without like a loop situation because Darcy Jones out. But yeah, this is how we're going to look going into the next game. And I'm probably going to just... The thought is VC Sarong into Butters because they're both, Butters versus North. Sarong versus a weakened midfield in Collingwood. That's what we're doing there. I want to just chat a little bit about buy rounds because I think buy rounds is what you need to trade for at this point of the season, right? And I'll give you guys a little idea of what I've got going on here. Might be a little bit... Yeah, this is the full one. This is just the primos. So the primos... These are the primos that are not playing during these bye rounds. As you can see, so 5 in the first, if you include Coach, which at this stage I do. I think he's similar to Fisher, really. Similar to Fisher. Fisher's going to move to the forward line eventually, but yeah, both playing that designated kicker role for us, and we get plenty of ball down there. So I'm considering him a primo. So 5 there. 4, if you include 5, it's a 5th. 6 in this one, round 14. Yeah, I'm including Reed as a primo at this point. I don't feel the need to get rid of him. And then we go, so then we have 5 here. So now that I look at it, we could probably target around 15 by player. Who could that be? Is there a defender available that I want from those teams? Not really. Like, nah. Unless, if I was to get a bit risky this week, right? And I will consider this, and I'll let you guys know. I'll make another video if I do decide to go this way. There is a defender that I do like from that buy round, and that's Crisp. It's not entirely comfortable to go Crisp, but Crisp is a very good player. And him playing in the guts fits Collingwood way better than him playing in the defense. I think he's going to stay there because they're playing their best football with De Goey out and Tom Mitchell out and this guy in the guts. So I think he'll keep that spot. But anyway, look, consider Crisp. That'll even things out a little bit. I do have a lot of primos in the round 13 buy. We'll sneak over to this little list here. So this is the players playing, and in brackets I have dudes who might not play, and I've sort of added them as, +2 here. So for round 12, we're set up pretty nicely. We've got 18 players that I consider guaranteed playing, and that's Richards, all these dudes. You know what I mean? Like even these rookies, Richards being a rookie, they're guaranteed. Sexton guaranteed. Then we might get an extra 2 from Reed, Rogers, Clark, Cheeky, Sully. So that the first buy round, well covered for. We look into the next few, right? It gets a little bit weird on the round 13 one because I have 5. So 5 Houston, Sarong, Butters, Ryan. There's a lot of players that are missing there. I'm relying on some meh rookies sort of to give me some on-field scores. But in saying that, yeah, I think it might be one of the smart ways to go about it, because, during that week, I think this might be is this a better way to visualize it? This might be a better way to visualize it than those notes. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Ryan Houston out, Sarong Butters, yeah. So that, maybe I should reconsider Houston and just get Crisp. All right. Some reconsidering of my trades on the pod, because Crisp. Let's have let's have a look at Crisp. Let's have what's Crispy doing, man? What's Crispy doing? Because, like, I'm looking at my round 15 here, right? And there's heaps. 17 plus 4. 5's going to probably be gone there. Yeah, this is interesting. Because, the thing is, we can get to round 15 and then sideways one of these primos anyway. So I might go Crispy, man. Just take a couple price upgrades. 112, 134, 106 in the last 3 games. CBA is super high. Man. And when your CBAs go down, the scores do go down. But they're not going to go down anytime soon, I don't think. Let's have a look. Let's. You know what? I don't know. Look, anyway, we're going to consider that. Anyway, I've sort of sidetracked here for what I plan to do, which was to go through the buys. But yeah, look, the buy round that has the most troubles for me is the round 14 buy. And just because, so 16 plus 2 if we're lucky here. It means that Sexton will have to go at that time. We'll chunk that for round 14 on. But it means Sexton will have to go. Maybe our sideways Miller, Flanders, maybe Reed might have to go, but I don't really want to get rid of Reed. Rogers, Sexton. Oh, yeah. There's that. Yeah, that buy round is cooked, to be honest with you. Maybe I sideways Walsh. If Walsh can, if there's a decent enough, player that I can sideways him to, I might do it, because Walsh is pissing me off. Yeah. Anyway, look, I would highly suggest, if you haven't done some sort of setup to see what your buys look like, do it. Take the time, have a look, see what you can do, because it's going to help you in the long run for the season. Yeah, because you'll probably realize, like me, so round 14, uncomfortable, right? There's probably 17 that I'll have, because I think Sullivan will still be playing. And then I'll have to do a couple trades just to get a couple more of those, playing players in. Yeah, look, you're probably going to find that you're going to have a buy round that's going to really stuff you around. So it's probably better if you can identify that now, and then you don't have to worry about, making trades at the last minute that you don't want to do. Anyway, we'll finish off. We're done with Classic, right? I'm going to sneak over to Draft. Draft Land always gets its little mention on the pod. This week, we beat MA Lakers, which was nice. And that puts us into the top 4, which is good. Mate, Chad Warner. The Chad, bro. He's so good. And Jordan Clark. We had a really good week this week, Fisher's finally back, which is really good. I brought in Swallow this week, but to be honest with you, I'm probably gonna flick him. To be honest with you, like I'd set up my waivers and I ended up with him, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't know. Look, yeah, I'm probably gonna flick him. To be honest with you, but yeah, no. Otherwise, we're gonna be. So between Finlayson and Sparrow, one of those guys will hopefully get a good enough score to hit the field in the forward line this week. Briggs is a scammer. I think I had him as my fifth round or 6th round pick. Big scammer, man. Big scammer. I don't understand how that's happened. But yeah, it's very frustrating. Anyway, and the other loop there, Farrell and Moore. We'll see how that goes. And also I'm going to try a loop between Wardlaw and Newcomb, because my boy Will Day is back. Anyway, this week is a big week because we have a fellow pod member. Where is he? The Hill Giants. That's Georgie. So I got Georgie. He's last at the moment. So his boys are fired up. They really want to win. he's struggled this year. He's really struggled this year. He's had some like unlucky picks. Chera's been out a little bit. Tom Mitchell's been meh. He's got Wiedering as well. Interesting. Yeah, no, it hasn't really worked out for him this year. But look, I'm not going to rule it out because look, McRae could randomly get a 120. Sarong against Collingwood could go 160. Who knows? But look, I'll probably beat him. Let's be honest. Anyway, bit of a longer one today, and a little bit. I got a little bit sidetracked talking about buys and this and that. But yeah, no, thank you guys for watching and for listening, and I hope you guys do well in your trades this week, and I'll see you on the next video. See you later.
West Coast, put it into the hot spot, into the 50, and Harley Reid, oh my, soaring from the heavens. If you're wondering if the hype was real, here's your proof.